Welcome back. Sorry about that. Welcome back to another Apex Racing Academy basic track guide tutorial. Yeah, Alex Simpson, Mercedes AMG GT3, and we are at Spa. Going to jump straight into it this week. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great racing. Watch for the off tracks, but yeah, let's take you through a half-speed lap. Going to be a lot of time for me to talk in between the corners on this one. Spa are always, massive long track. Lots of time in between the corners, lots of straightaway sections, which is going to mean it's going to be really important to focus on the exits of the corner. Coming into turn one, spot your braking point. The marker's on the left, it's just a fraction before that. All the way down into second gear. You want a slight late apex into turn one. Important to get a really good run off of the corner. If you're carrying a bit too much speed and you're having to be patient to get on the gas coming out of that to avoid the off track on the left, then you're basically going to be a sitting duck all the way down here. The guys are going to get huge draft on you going into Eau Rouge. They're going to line you up, and then coming out of Eau Rouge, they're just going to have a great shot going into the corner. I'm personally staying in fifth gear onto the way up the hill, and up. I think I get better drive off that than I do when I'm in fifth. Sort of open Eau Rouge up, so the left, the right, and then sort of skim across the top, using as much of the sort of the curbing on the left hand side of Eau Rouge as you can. A long drive down Kemmel Straight. Obviously going to be probably one of the best overtaking opportunities on the circuit, so keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for people who miss their braking points as well, especially if you're on the outside, because they're going to just smash you off. Brake just before the curb on the left, down into third gear. Use the curbing on the right and on the left. Your exit in sort of into the middle of the circuit, just so that we can get back over to the left here. Important when we do get this corner, just not touch the inside there. We want a good shoot out of the corner, so maybe a slight late apex just so that you get that run out of the corner. No need to lift there. Brake in pretty hard all the way down into second gear. Brake just as you start the curb on the left or just before it. And you want to hug the curb all the way around here. Be very patient. It's very easy to get on the gas a bit early, and you just exit a bit far over to the left if you do that, and it makes getting over to the right here very difficult, which we need to do to make sure no name corner is lined up nicely. We want to use all the curb on the right, so that you get a good sweep around the corner and you're not sort of having to fret with the off track. Heading into Pouon, just use some of the track down here, the curbing, sorry, down into fourth gear, and then again to sort of third, and then we're going to sort of drive off the corner. And if you've got the line just right, I'm just a little bit wide here. You can carry the car flat out through there, but just as I shifted up to fourth, I just had to get out of it ever so slightly because I was a little bit wide on the first part. And yeah, that's what's prevented that, so just need to nail that. Brake just before the curbing starts on the left hand here, down into third gear, and we want to hug the right hand corner. You don't want to exit too far out to the right. I'm probably maybe a couple of foot too far to the left, and that's just tighten this corner up. And you can see I have to be a little bit patient with getting on the gas here. That's just because I'm just a fraction too far over to the left on the exit. Brake just before the curbing on the left, use that curbing, avoid hitting this curb on the right, it'll push you wide, which is exactly what happens here, and I just basically suck it up and take the off track. Of course, third gear corner in the slightly cooler conditions, second in the slightly hotter through there. Pull flare, shouldn't really be too much of an issue, you do just have a little lift, but don't push the car so much that you're going off track there. It would pretty sense one to have. Plenty of time to get yourself thinking about Blanchimont up through the gears. What we're going to do is we're just trying to narrow this track a little bit here, so just try and straighten it off a bit. So as you come through the left hand just before Blanchimont, bleed out as far to the right as you can. Just a little lift, don't hit the curb on the inside, and then get back on the power. Use the curbing on the right, but get off of it before the AstroTurf starts, otherwise that'll give you an off track. We're braking around about the 150 meter board on the left hand side, down through the gearbox into second. Use a little bit of the curb on the left on the way in. Avoid the sausage curb, that will just upset the car balance a little bit. Little blip of gas in between, and then just a dab of brake just to get the car to bite and turn into the left hander. Get on the power nice and hard, You can use a little bit of the Astro there, but not too much, otherwise you will get an off track. Right guys, that's a lap around the Spa circuit. Any questions you might have, like I say, I'm away in Vegas this week with Graham and Patrick for the Visa Vegas E-Race. So yeah, wish us luck, and post any questions. I will try and answer them as best I can, but it might not be as quick. But thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you again soon.